Hello everyone and welcome back to the 39 part tutorial of how to model a basketball court arena where we will continue with our basketball hoop. This time I will try to make things a little bit more quicker. I want to really finish with this part and I already put it into test, so it looks somewhat good and you will see what I'm gonna do. We're gonna change here to side view. Okay, so first of all, fore view, side view, and we want to be able to grab. Let me show you this first. You see this piece of metal here, this all cube here, this squarey thing here. I want to grab all the vertices from this side and stretch them just a little bit. So this is what we're gonna do from the side view. And be aware that we have those holes there that also holding up the center vertices. So you either grab those or not, doesn't really matter. We will just stretch this to about so, okay? Not too much, but something like so, or even like that, okay? You can maybe a little bit more, but I ain't gonna do this more. I'm gonna press F8, shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna insert one edge loop here. Maybe it's just better. Well, exit smooth preview, and one edge loop here. Okay. Now with those two, I'm gonna add two for each side. I mean one for each side. That way. I think they are pretty. This one is too close, so that way it's okay. And let's grab this center face and sorry. Let's double click on this one. So it's selecting everything on the middle, all the faces. I'm gonna click extrude here. Okay. Switch immediately to scale tool and with the middle cube here on the axis, click drag, click hold and drag. So it will do something such as this. Okay. Now that's enough. Nothing more to it. Don't do anything else beside this. But if you can see this, well, that's good. Let's just press F8 twice, shift right click, insert edge loops. I'm gonna insert edge loops here. So one here, one here, one there, one here, and two just as we did at the other side. One here and one there. Okay, so now if you press 3, that looks fine and we can continue. I must pause for a second. My cat is just driving me nuts here. Well, I back. I'm sorry, my cat is just hungry and she have food, but it's like dry food, and when she like a few hours later, she doesn't want to touch this unless it's fresh from the bag, and I don't know, just complicated things with cats. Anyway, we've done so far, and what I want to do here is I want to grab one of those bolts, Control D to duplicate it. Let's move it over here, and from this side, what I want to do is I want to grab this edge. Now, what's nice about this version of Maya, and I think also it's been on 2014, I'm not sure. If you grab this edge and double click on this edge, it will loop select all the edges. So they apparently haven't done this on earlier versions, but this time it works. So you can like grab this one and double click on this one and it will loop select it. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway. Sorry, this one and double click on this one. Yeah, I know that I've done something wrong now by double clicking on the other one. So I'm gonna click this one and double click on this one. Okay. Now, when basically all those edges has been selected, you wanna go shift right click, bevel edge options. You wanna set the segments to 2. Okay. I don't know what that means, but let's leave it there. Click apply. It will bevel those. So those will be like that. See. Right click, choose edge, face. Grab this face, double click on this face, and delete those faces. Right click, choose edge. Gonna double click on this edge, mesh, fill hole. Okay, so that's good. Now you want to come over this side and right click, choose edge, double click on this edge, extrude it, switch to move tool, pull it that way. Now I'm gonna press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and I first want to mount this here so I know exactly what the length of this should be. So something like so, put it there, and then I will need to right click somewhere on the background and choose edge, and then double click on this edge and pull it outside. So we want to be something like so. Okay, extrude, switch to scale tool, do something such as this, bring it here with the move tool, and mesh fill hole. Okay, press F8, right click, choose face, grab this face and the face here. Okay, both of them, mesh, edit mesh, poke, or poke face. I don't know which version you use, but it should be poke face. Shift right click, insert edges. We're gonna add one edge here, maintain this, one here, and one here to maintain this. And I'm gonna press F8 again, switch to move tool, grab this, switch to scale tool and then move tool. And I'm gonna add one more edge loop here, one more edge loop here. And if you press 3, this will remain, like smoothed and nice circular, but these will remain hard, sharpened edges. So we have a nice screw here. Now, if you really want to add to this, I suggest you just click on this, double click on this, and you can do something like extruding this a little bit more out. Okay, so it will be just a little bit bigger than the others, but nothing that you must do. I mean, it's already look good that way. I'm gonna mount this back to where it should be here. I'm gonna bring this one closer and that one closer to it. Grab this, Control D to duplicate this, move it downwards here. Okay, let's see that it's there. Let's press 3 on the way just to make sure it's really where it should be. Let's grab those two and bring them near a little bit. Those two, Control D to duplicate both of them. Move them along here, position it that way. So far so good. Press F8. I'm gonna save this file. I had trouble earlier. It's kind of funny. I already done this just to practice this, and then I saved it, and then I didn't have the progress that I already had when we done with part 38. So I had to redo everything. Hello everyone. It's just that I started this part yesterday and I decided to continue it today because I had some problems here. Anyway, let's continue. So this is where I need now to work on. So I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna isolate it. Just for a second, I need to see something. Now I want to open the reference pictures on my desktop. This one and 3 will be good. Okay. Now, as you can see here, what's interesting about this is that even though this part is not touching the glass, this one is not touching this plate. So there is something there that I can't really tell what is it, and I don't really know where this screw and the others that there are connecting to or with or whatever is between there. I'm gonna open another picture just to try and see if there are any clues about this. Maybe this one. Anyway, you see that here we have like three things here. So those are three screws, just like those two. And those two are connected to the main frame here, and this two as well. But it seems like these two, maybe this one here and this one, and those at the other side are connected to the rim. So I'm not sure how exactly it's connected. I can just assume in some way. So what I will do here is pretty simple. I show you what we need to do. Also, if I'll open again this picture, okay. So as I told you, you see this area here is a lot more small than this main profile of this arm. So we need to take this in mind and also see the height of it, okay? Just understand the shape. And let's say that we need only these and those. See, I'm just picking four, well, not this one, but this one, four corners. So everything here, I mean, if I will, let's, I click here, double click here, and double click on this. This is what I want to extrude out. So I'm gonna select everything inside here. And you can do this as well. I mean, just pick whatever you feel is feasible for this part. And now that I I was selecting those, I'm gonna unisolate for a second, and I want to make sure that this part can be somewhat assembled here in a proper way. I mean, I just want to stretch it. I don't want to do too much to it, though. I'm gonna open this again, and I'll just have a look. Well, yeah, that's fine. So let's isolate this again. Oh, not the faces. So I'm gonna just simply click extrude, switch to move tool, and extrude this. Let's press 1 to exit smooth preview, and I'm gonna extrude this until it gets just a little bit before this, okay, that way. Now I'm gonna press F8, grab this again on object mode and isolate it so I can work with it, and I'm gonna add one edge loop here, about so. Now I want you to, before you do this, I want you to check something. I want you to make sure that you have, see, like one edge loop here, the corner one, and one here. So whenever you select all those faces there, this is what you need to be aware of. I mean, you may need to make sure that you have at least some edges that are supporting the corner edge, okay? So if we have those there, I assume that here it's just the same, and it was symmetrical selection, so everything should be okay from both sides. Now, right click, choose face. I'm gonna grab this face, double click on this one to loop select those, click extrude, and I'm gonna unisolate for a second so I see what's going on here. And you can either choose to pull this arrow and start extruding it out that way, and in some cases it won't look that good, but at least with this, I mean, with what you're doing here right now, you can see that all the edges here are going straight as they are. They are not getting offsetted to other direction. And I will explain this. If I will undo that extrusion, it's still on extrusion, but I will switch to scale tool, like sometimes you can see me doing this. I will try to do this that way. You see, all of them are dislined. Like it's not straight like the main edge that this edge was built from. Okay, so in that case, you will need to adjust those. So I will undo that again and undo the unisolation, undo the extrusion, and I will extrude this once again. Wait, click extrude, and I will pull this. Now, for some reason, the reason that I'm telling you this is because one time, one of my tests that I've done here, what happened is that it was starting to extrude here. Everything was good, but here at this area, something very weird happened, and I don't really know what was the reason for that. So I'm trying to make sure that you won't get the same results. So with that in mind, I'm gonna bring back the I don't want to isolate it now. I want to see how far I'm extruding this. Okay, that's good. And now I can press F8 and then isolate this again. Now we're gonna straighten those corners again, like we've done here. So I'm gonna right click, choose vertex. I'm gonna grab those two vertices and those there. Something with my mouse is not working. I think the battery already done his job, I think. Hold on the V, snap those up here, switch to scale tool, and make them sharpie like so. And grab those, shift select those. I release the other ones. So hold on, switch to move tool, hold on the V key, and snap those down here. Switch to scale tool and do the same. Okay. I'm trying somewhat to match this. Nothing will happen if it's by 1 millimeter offsetted or something. Okay. Now, one more thing that I have problem with is trying and inserting here new edges. Okay. If I will insert edges here, what will happen is that those edges, I mean, if they are, let's explain this again. If I want to create holes here for the screws or something, I will need to add edges that following that way, okay? And because here I can do it because I already have like some, you know, base construction for this. Here I won't be able to do this because it will follow this path, and I don't want to mess around with this path, okay? And then it will require just a lot more job. So we're gonna cheat here in this case, and I'm gonna unisolate this. And what I'm asking you to do is simply grab two of those, Control D, duplicate it, move it over here, bring it here, and hopefully on the width they will match. Okay, if not, nothing happened. You can shrink them a little bit, just bring them back that way. Okay, and before that we will grab this one and Control D. Okay, I'm gonna press 1 to exit smooth preview, and I'm gonna delete all those faces here of this. Okay, now I don't need those as well, so let's grab this, delete, delete. We don't need any of those. I mean, it's just we are cheating, so Sorry. So that's cool. I mean, just grab this. You know what? I will do this easier for you. I'll grab those two, duplicate them, bring it here, like so. Grab those two there, delete them. Grab those two. Now, I will group them. So I'm gonna go over, let's first go over edit delete by type history. And then I will go over general and click here group. Okay, I think that P or no G or P should group them. I mean the hotkey. And modify center pivot. I want to group them so basically I will be able to scale them down together. If I will do this when they are all like like separated or something, then I will have trouble on making it work. They each will go different way probably or something. So while you're grouping them, they all act like one unit. Oopsie. Okay. Okay, let's say this is okay. I'm trying to match it also for the borders here, so we won't have any problems. You know what? I'm gonna grab this and isolate everything so I can see it better. And let's open this and grab the group again. I don't want to group them again, just grab them as group here. Control D, duplicate this. Let's move this one here. Control D, move this one here. And we are all good. I think those should be here. And we can grab 3 of them from the outliner. Control D to duplicate them and move them to the other side. Okay, so we have something beautiful here. Let's isolate this. I mean unisolate this. All right. Now the rim. My assumption is that you need to have like how to explain this. You need to have like the screws that are going through here, like from the inner part inside this area. Okay, so I think this area where the spring should be, there is a way to open this, and that way you're screwing it. Okay, and I think that those screws are welded on top of this. Okay, so that means that the only thing that you need to do is just stick this into the holes and then you screw them there. Okay, anyway, what we will do here is very simple. We will just create whatever we need. So we're gonna create a polygon cube. I don't want to mess around with the rim. I already messed around too much with it. I mean on the process, and what I will do is simply I will create this big cube here. It's already on the center, so I will bring this up like so. Press F to focus on it. Let's bring it here a little bit, and let's scale this up and squeeze this down like so. Squeeze this that way. Now I'm doing this because, as I showed you on the pictures, there is a plate behind this base of the rim. So I want to make sure that I have this plate, okay? Something like that. This should be here, not that thick and not that thin, something like so, I think. Let's open the reference picture, it will be easier for us to see this. Okay, click open. So you see, this is how it looks, and it should be just a little bit above the rim here, and even shorter than in here, in that. So let's bring this a little bit down. Right click, choose vertices, I'm gonna grab this, make it a little bit shorter. Well, how much shorter? I'm not sure. It goes to the frame, so it looks like the rim should be a little bit downwards. Anyway, let's not fight with it. Let's just put it there. And again, just have one more look to see how much it's picking from the sides. And I'm gonna grab those 4. Shift select those 4. You can simply switch to scale tool and scale this that way. Okay, press F8. Bring it back to object mode, and let's leave it as it is. Alright, so I think that this is it for this part. I know that I used some kind of a lazy method here, but I just want to try and you know, not to put you into problems with this thing. I think this area is just a little bit too complicated, you know, to handle it right now. And as for from what I know, most of the time when people watch my tutorials, they are not following really each step by step. They're just taking the whole concept and trying to match this. But I mean, I can't. I'm almost sure that no one ever did it like the same number of edges and stuff like that. So you probably missed something. So whatever you will do, it can be perfectly done just as I did. And at this part here, which I was dealing with, I just think that even I didn't done it in most perfect way of thinking before creating this. So even though I experiment this, I know that after the experiment, I understood that I had to give a little bit more thought about this earlier when I just started creating this. So anyway, leave it as it is. It looks good, it looks fine. No one will go there and blame you for something. I've seen even much more worse models, and still people, whenever they can make shortcuts, they do. So don't, you know, bang your ad against the wall or something. Well, thank you for watching. I'm gonna save this file. 36. Okay, save as. No, I have 36. Let's save it as 37. Save as. Okay, thank you for watching again. See you in the next part. Bye bye.